My friend, the Eagles just received a bold prediction from one of the NFL's most respected insiders about one of the most intriguing rookies from the 2026 draft. And when you hear this player's full story, you'll understand exactly why the Philadelphia organization was over the moon when they got their hands on him. We're talking about a tight end with an athletic profile that broke all-time records at the NFL Combine, a Mackey Award winner, the prize given to the best college tight end in the country, and a young athlete with a life journey that goes beyond anything you've ever read in a scouting report. And according to Jason La Canfora, the Eagles may have found an immediate contributor for 2026 with this guy. If you want to follow every Eagles move this offseason, and this draft class has a lot more to tell, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel right now. Today's story is one of the most compelling I've ever told about a rookie who arrived in Philadelphia carrying a heavy backpack full of history and talent. This story doesn't start at the 2026 draft. It starts in Denton, Texas, where a young high school quarterback was so dominant, he collected offer after offer from the biggest programs in the country. A four-star prospect, offensive MVP of his conference in high school, responsible for 2,169 passing yards, 36 touchdown passes, and another 1,166 yards on the ground. The destination? Texas A&M, one of the most traditional programs in all of college football. The dream was to become a quarterback in the SEC. And then life did what life does. He suffered a severe torn labrum that required surgery. And after a second shoulder injury, the dream of playing quarterback was simply over. He admitted it himself. He couldn't throw the same way anymore. Most people would have given up at that point. He didn't. He transferred to New Mexico State, competed for the starting quarterback job in 2023, but lost it to a certain Diego Pavia, who would go on to become a Heisman Trophy finalist. But something happened that season at New Mexico State. He experimented with tight end, and the numbers were immediate. 35 receptions, 366 yards, 2 touchdowns. When Pavia and the offensive coordinator headed to Vanderbilt in 2024, he followed. And it was there that the transformation was complete. In 2024, 49 receptions, 638 yards, and 5 touchdowns. In 2025, his All-American season, 62 receptions, 769 yards, and 4 touchdowns. Mackey Award winner, William V. Campbell Trophy winner, also known as the academic Heisman, with a 3.92 GPA. A player who broke all-time tight end records at the NFL Combine, a 45.5-inch vertical leap, and an 11-foot 3-inch broad jump, both records at the position, and a 40-yard dash time of 4.51 seconds for a 6'4", 239-pound athlete. His name is Eli Stowers, and he arrived at the Eagles as the number 54 pick in the 2026 draft, second round, and is already being pointed to as an immediate impact player for the franchise. Now let's get into what Jason La Canfora said, my friend, because the insider's words reveal what happened behind the scenes of this draft. La Canfora revealed that when Stowers slipped past the Baltimore Ravens at pick number 45 without being selected, the Eagles were doing cartwheels behind the scenes. A source inside the organization told the insider, "I don't know why they didn't take him, but we were happy as hell they didn't." And that is front office language for, "We believe we just got a player far better than we expected at this price point." And La Canfora goes further. Several evaluators around the league said Stowers was right there with Kenyon Sadiq, the tight end selected with the number 16 pick, first round, by the New York Giants, getting him in the second round when others believed he was first-round talent. That is exactly the kind of draft operation Howie Roseman executes better than almost any GM in the NFL. And it's not just La Canfora talking. Nick Sirianni, the Eagles' head coach, was direct after the draft. The guy is super talented. Athletically, he does some things that nobody else can do. He can create mismatches on third down and in first and second down situations. He is a tough cover. Catches everything, good after the catch, speed, and quickness. Sirianni also said it was exciting that Stowers is still relatively new to the tight end position, because that means this player's ceiling hasn't been reached yet. He is still learning the fundamentals of the game as a tight end. And even so, he was already among the best at the position in all of college football. Let's put the numbers in perspective. On PFF, Stowers finished 2025 with an overall grade of 81.6, 7th among 199 college football tight ends, and a receiving grade of 85, 3, which was 6th in the country. He led all college tight ends with 2.55 yards per route run, was second in yards after contact, and first in the country among FBS tight ends in that category. 30.6% of his receptions went for gains of 15 or more yards, chunk plays that change games. These are not numbers from an average tight end. These are numbers from a player built to dominate. The comparison most analysts are making? Evan Engram and Mike Gesicki. Two tight ends the entire NFL learned to fear in coverage. Big, fast, fluid in routes, impossible to cover regardless of who you put on them. Because that is exactly Stowers' profile. More than 70% of his snaps at Vanderbilt came in the slot. He was used as a mismatch weapon against slow linebackers and safeties who simply couldn't keep up with him. And in Nick Sirianni's system, which historically loves to create mismatch situations with tight ends, Stowers could be even more devastating than he was at the college level. Now, the elephant in the room, Dallas Goedert. The Eagles starter returned for the 2026 season on a one-year $7 million contract. Goedert is 31 years old and in his 9th NFL season. He is still one of the best tight ends when healthy. But when healthy is the defining phrase of Goedert's career, one that has been interrupted by injuries at different points. And more importantly, the Eagles had no tight end under contract beyond 2026 before drafting Stowers. That says everything about the franchise's intention. Stowers didn't arrive in Philadelphia to sit on the bench and learn for 3 years. He arrived as the likely heir to the position. And if he gets the chance to play alongside Goedert in 2026 while absorbing Sirianni's system, the growth potential is enormous. What makes all of this even more interesting is the timing of La Canfora's prediction. Because the Eagles are in a moment of transition at the receiver room. A.J. Brown is on his way out in a post-June 1st trade. Jahan Dotson went to the Atlanta Falcons. Mackay Lemon, the number 20 pick from the first round, just arrived. Dontavion Wicks was acquired via trade. Philadelphia's offense in 2026 is going to look very different from what it was over the last few years. And in this context of offensive roster reconstruction, Stowers could earn more snaps and more opportunities than any rookie tight end would typically expect in his first year. The circumstances around him create an ideal scenario for him to emerge. The only area everyone points to as a development need is blocking. Stowers is honest about it. I've improved a lot over the last 2 years and I want to keep getting better in every aspect of my game. For a guy who played quarterback for almost his entire college career and only became a real tight end a few years ago, the learning curve in blocking is expected and understandable. And the beauty of the Eagles system is that they have Johnny Munt, a specialized blocking tight end, and Grant Calcaterra also on the roster. Roseman built the tight end room in a way that Stowers doesn't need to be an elite blocker immediately. He can focus on what he does best, creating impossible problems for opposing defenses. So where does this leave us? With a second-round rookie that several league analysts believe had first-round talent, an all-time athletic profile, a personal story of resilience that very few people possess, and a bold prediction from insider Jason La Canfora that he will be an immediate contributor for the Eagles in 2026. Howie Roseman may have pulled off yet another one of those quiet draft steals that the Philadelphia organization executes better than anyone. What do you think about Eli Stowers? Do you believe he'll be an impact contributor in his rookie year? Drop your opinion in the comments. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. I'll be back later with the latest Eagles news.